Have you ever wondered why there are people we love deeply, yet over time, they begin to feel strangely unfamiliar? In the beginning, they feel like a beautiful dream, every word fits, every glance makes the heart tremble. But as time passes, the very things that once attracted us slowly become sources of exhaustion. It is not always because they changed too much, sometimes, it is because from the very start, we did not love them as they truly were. We loved a more radiant, more complete version, an image built from our emotions, hopes, and inner longings. Love, at times, does not begin with understanding, it begins with imagination. And that imagination quietly lays the foundation for future heartbreak. Psychology calls this phenomenon idealization, when the brain automatically fills in the gaps with what we want to see. We do not know enough about them, yet we believe they are the right one. We hear a kind sentence and assume they are warm-hearted. We see their silence and believe it means depth. In truth, we are not loving the person in front of us, we are loving the story we create in our minds. That story is beautiful, logical, and emotionally comforting. But no one can spend their entire life playing a role in someone else's narrative. When they begin to live as who they truly are, disappointment quietly emerges. Human beings do not love with reason first, we love with emotion. And emotion always seeks to protect us from emptiness. When we feel lonely, we easily fall in love with someone simply because they appear at the right moment. When we lack care and affection, we assign them the role of the one who will fill everything. Love then becomes a mirror, reflecting our inner needs rather than revealing the other person's true self. We are not seeing them, we are seeing ourselves through them. We love the feeling of being needed, chosen, and valued. And unknowingly, we turn another human being into a symbol of what we lack. Inner philosophy suggests that suffering in love does not come from loving the wrong person, it comes from loving in the wrong way. We love with expectations, not acceptance. We hope they will change, mature, and understand us without explanation. But expectations are not love, expectations are silent contracts the other person never agreed to. When they fail to meet those terms, we call it betrayal. In reality, they are simply being themselves. The pain comes from loving a version that never truly existed. Human behavior shows that when we love through imagination, we ignore even the clearest warning signs. We notice their indifference, yet comfort ourselves by thinking, they will change. We see their lack of listening and believe, they just don't know how to love yet. We convince ourselves because admitting the truth would mean letting go. And letting go hurts. So we choose to believe in an unproven future rather than face a present that already speaks clearly. That is not hope, it is emotional avoidance. There is a difficult truth to accept, not everyone who makes our heart race is meant to walk beside us for a lifetime. Attraction is instant, compatibility is built through understanding. Many people confuse the two. We believe that loving hard enough will erase every difference. But love does not remove human nature, it reveals it. The short-tempered become more short-tempered when close. The quiet become even quieter when exhausted. To love someone is to accept not only their beauty, but also their difficult sides. When relationships begin to crack, we often ask, why aren't they the same as before? But the better question is, did I truly see them clearly back then? The early stage of love is like a thin mist, softening every sharp edge. The brain releases dopamine, making everything feel more beautiful than it truly is. There is nothing wrong with falling deeply, the mistake lies in believing that early emotions represent a permanent truth. No emotional state is fixed, not even love itself. Loving the real person requires emotional maturity. It means being strong enough not to need them to be perfect. We no longer expect them to fill every gap because we have learned to face ourselves. We notice their flaws without rushing to fix them. We hear words that challenge us without feeling threatened. Love becomes companionship rather than rescue. And only then does the other person gain the freedom to be who they truly are. Many relationships end not because love disappears, but because clarity finally arrives. When illusions collapse, we face two choices: love again with truth, or leave because we cannot accept reality. Neither choice is wrong. The mistake is clinging to an image that no longer exists. People can grow and change, but no one can live forever inside another person's expectations. Real love exists only in awareness. Many relationships end not because love disappears, but because clarity finally arrives. When illusions collapse, we face two choices: love again with truth, or leave because we cannot accept reality. Neither choice is wrong. The mistake is clinging to an image that no longer exists. People can grow and change, but no one can live forever inside another person's expectations. Real love exists only in awareness. Ask yourself one honest question: if this person never changes, would I still choose to stay? If the answer is no, then perhaps you are loving their potential, not who they are. Loving potential is placing your emotions in the future, and that is the riskiest gamble of all. Because the future does not belong to you, it belongs to their choices. Love should never be a waiting room for someone to become someone else. People fear truth because truth forces responsibility for our own emotions. It is easier to say, "They changed," than to admit, "I did not see clearly." But only by looking back honestly can we avoid repeating the same pattern. The next love should not be a copy of the previous one. It should be more conscious, gentler, and less driven by illusion. Love is not about finding a perfect person, it is about finding a real one. Someone with strengths, and with limits we must carefully consider. Love does not erase conflict, it teaches us how to face it. If you constantly find yourself explaining or justifying their behavior, perhaps you are loving an idea. And ideas cannot hold you when you are tired, listen when you are hurting, or stay when you are vulnerable. When we stop loving through imagination, love may feel less romantic, but it hurts less. We are no longer shocked by their flaws because we understand that every human being has limits. Disappointment fades because we no longer place them on a pedestal. Love becomes a conscious choice rather than an emotional loss of control. And that is when love truly matures. In the end, the real question is not who am I loving, but what am I loving with? If we love through fear of loneliness, we will choose wrongly. If we love through illusion, we will suffer. But if we love through self-awareness, understanding, and acceptance of truth, then whether we stay or leave, we do not lose ourselves. Because real love does not make us smaller, it makes us clearer.